Aim is one of the most praised aspects of gaming. Everybody wants to be that crazy Reyna who spits on everyone in matchmaking. A common solution people offer to players with bad aim is that you just need to hit the aim labs. However, there's significantly more to aim training than that. Hey, this is Sero, your favorite Radiant, and in this guide I'll go over how you should be aim training to improve your aim most effectively in the least time possible. Unlike my other aim guide, this video will solely focus on improving your mechanical aim and will go more in depth in regards to third-party aim trainers like Kovaak and aim labs. I'll also go over all the common mistakes holding people back, as well as all the tricks that will improve your mechanical aim. So without wasting any more of your time, let's get right into the video. First, let's answer the most important question. Is aim training even worth it? Some players suggest that actively playing comp will improve your aim the fastest. However, this is simply not true. When you're in a game, think about how much aim training you're actually doing. Oftentimes, you're just walking around the map waiting for the barriers to go down, and then holding an angle for 20 seconds just to rotate across the whole map. Realistically, you're only getting into 1 or 2 gunfights every round, compared to aim trainers, where you're flicking and shooting hundreds of targets a minute. So yes, aim training is 100% worth it, but it's a time that you should spend aim training that will vary from person to person. Before you start any sort of aim training, you should do arm and wrist stretches. When you aim train, your hand can get easily strained, causing fatigue or pain. Simple hand stretches prior to the training will eliminate any unnecessary pain or injury. Stretches will also get more circulation into your hands, making them warmed and relaxed. Another important yet overlooked aspect of aiming is your body positioning. If you're not able to sit comfortably or in a repeatable position, then your aim will feel different every time. It's a good idea to spend some extra time to get a comfortable and consistent mouse grip, because remember, steady mouse control begins with a good grip. So now that you're ready to start, let's dive in depth into the best aim trainers available to us. The 4 main aim trainers are aim labs, Kovaaks, the in-game range, and deathmatches. All of these are unique and each aim trainer has its own highlights and flaws. First, let's go over third-party aim trainers, the 2 main ones being aim labs and Kovaaks. These two are fairly similar, with Kovaaks being the more expensive version, sitting at $10 on Steam, while aim labs is completely free. Kovaaks has more scenarios and more customization, while aim labs is still in early access. Aside from the prices and the number of scenarios, these two are quite alike. Not only are most people doing these aim trainers wrong, but they might even be developing bad habits that are hard to break later. After most people see 10s do grid shot, they try it out themselves and realize that even after doing the scenario hundreds of times, their scores are nowhere near that of 10s. In reality, it's your focus on the score and speed that's holding you back. Remember that even before aim labs, 10s had thousands of hours on FPS games. He already put in the work that you haven't, so copying his aim training is pointless. Instead, I suggest that you abide by the Metronome Method. The Metronome Method is very simple, straightforward, and ideal for improving your aim. Just open a metronome on your browser or press the link in the description. Now set the BPM to your desired value. For this method, I suggest starting with 120. Now open up aim labs and mute the in-game volume. The goal is to match your clicks with the beats on the metronome. At first, it'll be very easy, but the goal is to start developing good habits. Every time you get 98% or higher, you can increase the BPM by 10. It is important that you remain patient and follow through with the beats. After a while, you will notice that even after reaching the higher BPMs, your accuracy will still remain very high. This method also works perfectly with Kovaaks, and once I reach a high BPM, I like to go to a scenario with smaller targets. The grid shot bots are significantly larger than the enemy heads, so I suggest that you practice with the metronome method in harder scenarios as well. Another big plus about aim labs and Kovaaks is that you can practice your tracking easily. Many players neglect tracking scenarios, but I promise you that even though Valorant seems like just a click timing game, tracking is a big part. Practicing tracking will help improve your overall mouse control and will help you immensely with clearing angles and tracking strafing enemies. So remember to practice your tracking, as you will be way ahead of the players who don't. Despite all the positives, third-party aim trainers aren't perfect. No matter how much aim labs and Kovaaks try to replicate in-game scenarios, they aren't one-to-one. Third-party aim trainers focus on movement ranging from horizontal swipes to vertical flicks, but in a Valorant game, you're mostly moving your mouse left and right. Since vertical aiming is not very prominent in Valorant, you need to prioritize horizontal aim. Although there are scenarios that try to focus on Valorant mechanics, nothing will come as close to the game as much as the game itself. This brings me to my next aim trainer, the in-game practice range. Its simplicity allows for development of core mechanics that you use in every game in every situation. In fact, my primes method is a range-only routine that improves my aim even at a Radiant level. If you don't know about my primes method, then here's a quick summary. Primes stands for practice bots, recoil control, easy bots, medium bots, strafes, and movement practice. Since it's range only, it's fairly easy to complete and if done correctly will help you develop fundamental aim mechanics and proper muscle memory. The primes method has helped thousands of people, So if you aren't doing it already, I highly suggest that you implement it into your warm-up. And the last aim trainer, but definitely not least, is deathmatches. Many players just queue a deathmatch and run around to take duels. They don't focus on anything and think that their score and kills is an indicator of whether they are getting better or not. Instead, you should be working on your weaknesses and eliminating bad habits. For example, if you have a bad habit of constantly crouch spraying, then when you deathmatch, you should unbind your crouch and focus on tapping instead of spraying. When deathmatching, you should focus on your movement and using A and D to peek. It's a good idea to turn off sound and blast your favorite music. A deathmatch will allow you to practice with different guns as well. When you're in matchmaking, you aren't only using Vandals and Phantoms. Due to the changing economy, you will be using all sorts of weapons like Ghosts, Sheriffs, Marshals, etc. This is why I highly recommend that when you're deathmatching, you play with the guns you use in game. Using guns like Sheriffs and Guardians can also improve your discipline as you can't spray with those weapons. Speaking of discipline, the Miyagi method is another great way to train yourself and is one of the best ways to improve your overall tracking. Remember that the goal isn't to win, it's to improve. If you are serious and want to get the best results, I would suggest that you do third-party aim trainers, in-game range, and deathmatches, all in that order. Aim labs and Kovaaks will warm up your hands and improve your raw aim. The range will further improve your raw aim, but this time with Valorant mechanics and aiming styles. And deathmatch puts everything together while improving your crosshair placement, movement, and fixing your bad habits. When it comes to aim training, quality is more important than quantity. Running around mindlessly spraying is not aim training. Like the US Navy SEALs say, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. If you enjoyed this video or learned anything, then consider subscribing. If you want to see an in-depth economy guide, then check out this video right here. See you guys in the next video. Peace.